Hey everyone, it is Dani and welcome to this update video this afternoon. I hope that you guys are doing really wonderful, and so I'm going to be taking you through all that is happening across the Caribbean and surrounding areas this evening. So before I go into details, please do subscribe if you haven't yet done so and tap the bell so that you never miss an important update. Alright, and so we're starting out looking at this surface chart, and where we see those orange lines represent the axes of the tropical waves across the region. There we can see them actually being marked as tropical waves. Out in the main development region, there we have that latest tropical wave off the coast of Africa, and so as we're going to be heading into next week, we might see these waves having a lot of activity and trying to get themselves together, maybe try to develop, as what I showed you guys in my update video earlier with the models hinting that, hey, we could possibly see something develop maybe sometime late next week, even the other week as well. So we'll have to watch out for some of that activity as time goes by. But of course, I'll go into more details in my update video tomorrow morning with what the models are expecting. But development will all be dependent on the favorability of conditions. And you might have heard a thunder just now in the background. So a tropical wave is making its way across the central Caribbean, heading to the west, and so it is in the vicinity of Jamaica, producing some thunderstorm activity and some heavy rainfall across some spots. So let's go on to the satellite imagery, and we're actually going to be starting out with northern South America and parts of the southern Caribbean. So looking at it here, you can see lots going on across some spots in Colombia, especially going to southeastern Colombia. Similar story for parts of Venezuela, going to Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana as well. As we look up into the vicinity of Trinidad, there was some thunderstorm activity, but some of that is clearing out, so a bit more instability there. ABC Islands, dry and hot in the region as per usual. Heading further into the Lesser Antilles, maybe some brief showers at times, some passing showers, a brief thunderstorm or so, or maybe it can be sunny for your area. So there is a bit of activity lingering there from what I showed you guys earlier. And then over in the southwestern Caribbean, there we can see some of that activity. Let's get a better picture of that. Let's head further up north, and here we can see all of these showers and thunderstorms, but where we see some of those darker shades of reds and blacks and gray with those white dots, they indicate lightning strikes. And so we see all of that happening right now across parts of the western Caribbean. Most of that is offshore, so not actually bringing a lot of heavy rainfall to land masses, but we see some activity developing also across some spots in the Yucatan, which includes Belize, going to parts of Guatemala, and even in Mexico as well. Look into the Cayman Islands, mainly some overcast weather, possibly with a passing shower. As I said earlier, for Jamaica, there is some thunderstorm activity developing across some parishes, offsetting the heat because it has been a pretty hot day today. And by the way, as we head especially into September, we're gonna see a lot more of this, where it's really hot in the daytime, and then as we head to the afternoon, there's a lot more instability, which causes those thunderstorms to develop. And as next month is also going to be the reopening of school, I encourage especially parents and guardians to ensure that the little ones have their resources. So it is important that they have their umbrella, jacket, cardigan, all of their weather resources, because as I said, we're going to be seeing a lot more of this kind of weather where there is a lot of heavy rainfall, especially in the afternoon. And we know that school typically ends around 2:33. So I know the back to school shopping has begun, so please ensure that your little ones have those resources. And also it is important that there is a plan in place should in case there is a flooding. It doesn't even have to be a flood. It could be any emergency where they know where to meet you should in case they can't actually reach out to you. And we also see lots of thunderstorms across some spots of Cuba, going to Hispaniola, and even in the vicinity of the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos Islands, and a lot going on for some sections of Puerto Rico as well. So that is what we see happening right now, guys. And there is some dry air in parts of the Caribbean. So as we saw in the east, it was mostly vacant. There wasn't much happening. There isn't much happening right now. So there's some dry air over there. There's that blob of activity near Central America, and across the main development region, a lot of activity. And in terms of most of that shower and thunderstorm activity, it is south of that mass of dry air. So things should get a bit more conducive as we head to later into August, going to September, which will favor these stronger tropical waves, some of which will eventually develop. And so guys, finally, I want to take you over into the Eastern Pacific, where there is Hurricane Dora, which should become a major hurricane, maybe even a Category 4. So it's definitely exploring these favorable conditions, which are allowing it it to intensify so quickly. It has been rapidly intensifying for a while now, since yesterday. So it is looking quite good. It is a healthy cyclone. And as we go on to the latest from NHC, we can see here that it has maximum sustained winds of 105 miles per hour. So it is a Cat 2 hurricane right now. Should be a Cat 3 by the next advisor, which is in maybe around an hour or less from now, depending on when you see this update. And there is that little dip expected in the track of it. So it should continue generally to the west or to the west-southwest. And so not a threat to land right now. It should continue to intensify for some time, possibly becoming a Cat 4, and let's see what's going to be happening with it. But that is what I wanted to share with you guys in this update. That is what is happening right now, and so I hope you found this video to be quite informative. But if you have any questions, as per usual, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I will respond once I get the chance, and as always, remember to be weatherwise.